This is the Anna Phil interviews in Hanbury Gardens on the edge of Italy to meet the artist Gianne de Genevraye. Gianne, this is lovely. You exhibit your paintings in gardens, but what inspired you to take that direction?
Well, I've always loved gardens ever since I was a child, and I was working for so many years from my head in intellectual work, talking about conceptual things and the infinite and all kinds of sort of difficult subjects. And all of a sudden, I was working with my maestro, and I started painting my own garden. And he said at the end of 5 days, he said, "This is so you and so fantastic." He said, "What are you hesitating for?" So I carried on in that direction, and it's become such a validating thing for me because it's allowed me to take my work to a very broad public and make my work accessible to so many different kinds of people rather than just keeping it toward the elite contemporary world. So that was really my goal, and so I think I've achieved that by going into the garden.
And your theme is always gardens. So does
Yes.
that represent something greater to you or actually about you?
I think that today, especially in our modern world where we're all so focused on small screens, you know, the
Absolutely.
small iPad, the everything, we're forgetting to look around us and especially to see the magnificence of what is around us. And so what I'm trying to do with these paintings is to make my vision accessible to the public once again, so that they can see a different way of looking at the plants, of looking at our surroundings, what is actually around us at every single day. And I think there's something interesting just about the human experience in that we all want to come back to the garden. It's something very archaic, very ancient in all of us, and I think it's absolutely
very calming as well.
Yes, and that, find that serenity, find that peace, find that intense beauty, that change, that evolution that happens on a scale that is so quick. It's changing so fast we can't even see it. It's so rapid.
Now the collection you have created here in the beautiful Hanbury Gardens. Yes. Tell me more about this collection.
Well, this collection I think is possibly the best that I've painted before, and I'm so excited about it because I've had to reinvent the way that I usually work, meaning I always would work in front of the subject with my easel and my table, my palette, everything. But this garden is so vertical and so large that it was physically impossible for me to get to some of the spots that I wanted to paint. So I've had to develop a new type of work, meaning I'm working from memory, and this is exciting and challenging, and I think the work has a freer aspect to it. It has a little more fantasy to it, and so that's been an evolution for me in this particular oeuvre. Yeah.
Now, in your experience, do you find that certain people are attracted to certain paintings?
I knew you were going to ask that question. Yes, in this exhibition there's definitely two families of work, feminine and masculine, and I find that you know, the feminine paintings are very they're light, but at the same time, such as this one behind us, the tones are light, but it's very dense and global as a vision goes, which I think is a nice description of a woman in general. Then there are other paintings that are much stronger, bolder strokes, more erectile, more masculine. The contrasts are stronger. The pillars go high and they're the strong masculine energy. So there's both, and it's really interesting because depending on what I'm feeling, I'm either in my masculine or in my feminine side, and that's what is coming out in the paintings on a daily basis.
Reflecting your mood.
Yes, my mood. Yes.
Now you focus on a particular area of the garden when you're painting. But you never feature figures at all, but you're capturing little secrets from nature.
Yes, and that's deliberate. I've always felt that you'll be surprised by this, Anna, that I think that the plant life is more interesting than the human life, because in some ways, in all ways, the plant life reflects our own human experience. And I really experienced that when I was here at the very beginning of spring, because at that time of year, you know, just when that new color, that green yellow color comes out, and the new flowers, and very light, delicate perfume, and everything is so lace-like. And it's spring, and it's the beginning of life, and then we move towards summer, and things get harder, colors get harder, the leaves are harder, the colors are deeper, they're more intense. So we move into the virility side of life, you know, when the seeds are being, the flowers are dropping, the seeds are there. And then we move into fall, where things are starting to die, but the last of the glory and the last of the colors are there. And then we move into winter, and of course death, and then rejuvenation.
It all starts
and
all
it all
over
starts
again.
And that's so beautiful.
That's the beauty of nature, though, isn't it?
And that is nature, is that it is not ephemeral as we are. It's eternal, whereas we are not. So I think it's the perfect template for our own experience, and that's what I want to demonstrate in my painting.
You must create such a bond with all the gardens that you work in.
I do,
surely.
yes, I do, and it's always with great nostalgia and a little bit sadness that I leave when I finish my residency, which usually lasts three to 4 months on site in any given garden. This is my 6th residency, by the way. And I always donate. I leave a painting wherever I go, and that's highly appreciated by the people that receive it. They either use it for fundraising or they put it in their permanent collection. And in that way, I leave a part of myself in the garden, yes.
And I think something you said there, I think I picked on what you said earlier on, is that by leaving a painting or by painting in a garden, your work is made accessible to the masses. And I know this is very important to you.
Very important to me. I feel that anyone should be able to look and respond in some visceral way to a work of art, and as I said earlier, this work is not destined for an elite, contemporary, informed audience. It's destined for the general public, and it's so rewarding for me, Anna, because anytime someone comes into the studio, they always say, "Oh, it's so beautiful," and for me that's fantastic.
Compliment.
That's fantastic. That's really what I want to share. That's the vision that I want to share. Look at the beauty that is around us every day.
It's unavoidable. It is so beautiful. Artist Gianne de Genevraye, may your work continue to grow and blossom.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.